Hi everybody, welcome back. This week we take delivery of our new tractor and disc, and we have exciting news. It looks like the corn is ready. Hey everybody, we're here at Craig Taylor in Fairbanks, picking up our new tractor and disc harrow. This is Dave Austin, our sales rep, and we are excited to put this to work. Yeah, absolutely. It's been a little while getting it.
Oh yeah, most certainly. Yeah, long lead time, but it's here.
Yeah. So we got the 6135E and the 12-foot disc. And so tomorrow we will put it to work.
That's awesome.
Everybody's gonna know if it does any good or not.
It's gonna.
Yeah, absolutely. You got anything you'd like to say to people? Anything about equipment? Anything they need to know? Or?
So, Craig Taylor in Fairbanks is the interior supplier for John Deere ag and turf equipment. So if you have any questions, any needs, any interests, stop on by and see us, give us a call. We'd love to see you.
And this is not sponsored by any means.
No.
It's just, we picked the best equipment for this job, and Dave happens to be the guy selling it. Okay, here we are loading up the fertilizer spreader and the carrier adapter so we can put skid steer attachments on the front of the tractor. Everybody here at Craig Taylor in Fairbanks has been really good to work with. From our sales rep, to the parts guys, to the head mechanic that put our tractor together. The fertilizer spreader is a pretty good implement, very versatile. Of course, you can spread pelleted fertilizer with it, lime. It also works well for spreading seed when you need to. Won't be as exact as a planter, but it's relatively low cost to get into one, and it does lots of different jobs. Great asset to have on the farm.
There's the ballast box going to the truck.
When you get a loader for John Deere for your tractor, it comes with a ballast box. That's very important to stabilize the equipment and to make sure you don't overstress the axles or the frame. And each ballast box is made specifically for that loader. Okay, a little bit on this tractor. It's a 6135E. I had a few upgrades, an air ride seat, had a heavy-duty 3-point hitch, and a heavy-duty draft bar. Got a loader with a third function, and it's a mechanical self-leveling loader. The E model tractor is a fairly basic tractor. This one I got spec'd with a 1212 with creeper transmission with a forward reverser. And got a skid plate put under the fuel tank to protect it. Tried to find a tractor that's going to be big enough to do most everything, but not too big to do some things. This is a no-frills tractor that frees up capital for other equipment so we can get the farm up and running. And so far, we've been nothing but impressed by it.
Heading over to the harrow. You got it, come back. Good.
It needs to be pointed out that the hitch is an improvised hitch that the dealer threw together so we were able to transport everything back to the farm, as the proper hitch was ordered and would be there early the next week. That's just some of the problems of being at the end of the supply chain. Making sure you have everything and getting everything there can be a little bit of a challenge, so you have to make do and overcome a problem, which they did, and it worked awesome. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, got the hydraulics hooked up and everything else. Now it's time to lift it up and put the transport lock in. That just, in case something happens, break a hose, it doesn't ram into the concrete or the asphalt and make friends.
I'm guessing the round part like clicks around.
Yeah, because that's how to protect the seal.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Okay, disc is hooked up. We're loaded up. Okay, we're at Esther getting fuel in the truck. The tractor. It was a pretty day. You can see behind me or not. Doing just under 20 miles an hour. 19.7 currently. Truth be told, it's about as fast as I want to go. You know, 30 might be okay, but it is a tractor, not a sports car. Just be careful not to take out a guardrail. Here we are. George is going to drive for a while. We don't have too far to go. We're going to stop at the Mondo and get a burger here. Down the road a few miles. I like the air ride seat better. But this is better than not having a seat at all.
Yeah.
Been a good drive. Averaging right around 19.5. Traffic's been relatively light. Window's pretty dirty. Okay, we just stopped and got something to eat, so the crew was refreshed and ready to go for the rest of the drive back home. Even though it took a couple hours to make the drive, you couldn't have hardly loaded it on a trailer and transported it any less time. Well, good morning everybody on this breezy, cloudy Saturday morning. It's going to be a nice day. It's supposed to clear up a bit today and almost reach 70, so that's okay on Saturday. So today we've got disking to do, of course, with the new disc. We'll try that out. Dave is going to be out, grinding trees, and depending on how things go, probably get the dozer going too. It's kind of a little bit of crunch time, being how it's the end of the year. I want to get as much done as possible, so we'll kind of all hands on deck. So we'll see you out at the farm. Okay, here we go. Get through town without taking anything out. Again, not much going on in town. May get even slower being how the season's about over, so. Well, that's probably the end of the tractor being clean. Looks like maybe they're grading. So. And as always, have to remember to stop and look both ways before you cross the tracks. Every time. Just passing the boat launch and fixing to go over the bridge over the Nenana River. The road's settled on each side of the bridge, so there's a pretty good bump when you go onto the bridge and when you come off the bridge. I know they've got plans to fix that. I don't know if it's going to happen this fall or maybe next summer they'll work on that joint so it's not quite so rough. Adrian's going to run ahead, run interference. If we meet anybody, we're just so darn wide that it'd be hard to pass. So she's going to go look ahead. We did measure to make sure. The disc is a little over 13 feet wide, and the gap on the bridge is about 1310 wide. So there was enough room, just definitely didn't want to be in a hurry so you didn't tear anything up. The new bridges will be 24 foot wide. That'll resolve most of any of these problems, because most everything you take down the road isn't any wider than 24 foot for sure. And that'll be real nice. Guys okay? Sucks to get hit with a disc, huh? Okay, across that bridge. One more to go. And we're pretty much home free. Okay, Adrian's gone up around the corner. It's the one spot on the road we don't have good visibility, and there's really no good spots to pull over. So she needs to see if it's clear before I proceed. Sure don't want to have a traffic jam out here, now do we?
Okay.
It would have been nice to be able to do this disking back in the summer when it was dry, but that wasn't an option. So it's okay. We'll get in 3 or 4 weeks, 5 weeks, or maybe more, and then we'll be able to clear the brush and logs until the snow or cold, like I said, does us in. The ground being frozen will not matter either way as far as clearing brush. If there's anything below the frost line, that'll kind of put a stop to that, but we can catch up with that in May or June. So welcome to the farm, everybody.
Yeah.
Okay, here we are running the first few passes around the farm, trying to figure out which settings work best for the disc, for the type of material we have. This disc has notched on both front and rear discs, and that's to help chop up any of the debris and help prevent plugging. Okay, here we are on top of the ridge. It's looking pretty good. We got some stragglers to pick up, but it's a little bouncy, isn't it? First pass over the fields are always rough. It's just the way it is. Until it gets disced up 3 or 4 times, it's gonna be bouncy.
We're thinking about putting the cornfield in the spring.
Yeah, this will be corn and any other stuff. It's got water close, it's up high, has really good timber on it, so it'll be quite the effort this fall to make sure this 5 acres or so up here is as disced up and tilled up as possible by freeze up. Okay, made our first pass kind of just around the farm with the disc. Just seeing how it does. And depending on where it is, what the conditions are. This is one pass through here, which was a little brushier than that. Had a little more material in it, but lots of dead spruce in the roots. So for one pass, that's not too bad. It's going to need a bunch more for sure, and then the bigger pieces will need to get picked up. It's just part of opening up any new field. If you're not picking sticks, well, you're not doing it. Sprinkling a little light rain. Adrian's out disking the field up. So we were walking by looking at the crops, and we've had a bunch of geese hanging out. And oh, lo and behold, somebody came along and decided they wanted the tops of all of the barley. Now there's still some green ones here that haven't matured yet, but all the ones that were matured, they have cut them all off. Every single head.
And I do not see moose tracks.
Here's what one would look like, and this one's not quite dry. Anyways, guess we fed the geese. Okay, a little update on the potatoes. It was so dry. They didn't do a whole lot. Now we got some moisture. They may kick it into gear a little bit. That's okay. Okay, had our first crop damage out here, barring the barley it all got ate. But something came along and decided to take a bite out of this corn stalk. It's been a few days. Definitely didn't happen today or anything. So just broke one off. Not quite sure what it was. Possibly a bear. See prints that look like a bear. These ears are definitely getting close. They're just not there yet. Morning, everybody. Hope you're having a great day wherever you are. A little bit overcast today. It's going to be a nice day, I think. Looks like it may clear up a little bit. Don't know what it's like where you're at, but it's a definite shift in the way the clouds look and everything, and I don't know if that's just the angle of the sun, the light, but the clouds definitely go from being summer clouds to they shift over to being winter clouds. So maybe it's just me. It's gonna be a nice one. Okay, we picked the tractor and disc harrow up from Craig Taylor on Friday evening. Drove it down. It's about a little over 50 miles. Not too bad. It and the disc together. Took us a couple hours, which wasn't awful. The disc is a DH5112, so it's a 12-foot wide disc. The tractor's 135 horse. We've just started using it, so we're just learning all about it. Okay, just got the pin adjusted. It came in that setting, or it's where they, at least when it was assembled. We had it all the way in the front, put it all the way back in the back. Mosquitoes are out. And we have an improvised hitch on the tractor. Make it work. The correct hitch will be here hopefully this week. We'll get that swapped out. Dave is out. In fact, you can see him way over there. There he is. Well, if I don't... Okay, we got a carrier adapter so we can put skid steer attachments on. Since we have a skid steer, that seemed like the right thing to do. We have the grapple on. Used it a little bit. Need to have the tractor ballast a little better to use it a whole lot. It's very important to be ballasted properly. But it's nice, nice weight on the front for pulling the disc. Definitely heavier than the stock bucket that came with it. Well, there's that gang of hoodlums. It looks like they're greater white geese. Maybe they were eyeing the oats, or maybe they were coming back to see if there was any barley they'd missed. And that's okay, happy to feed it to them. We were just testing it out to see how it'd grow anyways. The fact they ate it up is a good sign that it had matured, and it was pretty yummy. Well, it started to rain. We're just got this section of field. It's up on top of the ridge, we call it. Gonna take some work. The birch trees you see, I got stragglers out in the middle of the field. Those will get turned into firewood. So, I don't know, this week sometime we'll knock them over, grab them with the grapple, take them over to the burn pile, cut the stumps off, cut the tops off, stack them up, and they'll turn into firewood. Some places the overburden from the shredding is a little more than others, but it's working in, chopping up. As sandy as the soil is here, having this extra biological matter mixed in with the sand is actually going to be pretty nice. That'll help the sand immensely. Make for some good soil, I hope. Bit of rain. Okay, we're off. The first few passes in a brand new field is always rough and not a whole lot of fun. But that's okay. We get that one out of the way and then it gets easier and easier. Dave in a while. We're on the other side of the brush. We'll flip it around. He's over on the other side of that wall of brush somewhere. So far, we couldn't be happier with this disc and tractor package. A little bit bigger disc and a little heavier might have been nice, but then it would have been way too big for any future work on the farm. So like so many things, you need to find a happy compromise between the two. And it doesn't take long to figure out that the grapple is way more efficient on the skid steer, but the skid steer is not always here or it's doing other work. And this way two people can be conducting work and getting twice as much done. Not too bad, just a little windy. Brush is starting to come back. Mother Nature is attempting to reclaim. Guess it's time to do something about that. Well, on the way out, I ran across these two Sandhill Cranes standing in the middle of the road. They sure are a beautiful bird, and big. This is bridge number 3, we call it. There are swans. Well, the It's that time. The ears are basically ready. Depending on how the fall goes here. They're basically ready. Silks. There we go. Time to harvest some corn. It is August 27th, a Sunday. We went through and picked a few. So here's what it's looking like. This one's pretty well developed. The very, very tip end, but it's still pretty nice. So they'll be ready midweek or next week. So it's corn time. What you think, Bill?
What do you think, Dusty? Are you staying dry? Are you trying to stay dry?
Dusty doesn't like the rain.
You gonna get a drink or are we going inside? Come on, let's go inside.
Do a pepper update. George's peppers of varying types of hot peppers. There's a orange one in the back there, which is probably a sign that it's going to hurt when you eat it.
From all of us at Coffee Farm, Tarn, myself, George, and Dave, and the collies, we all appreciate your time to watch us. And keep tuned, because the corn is coming.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.